what's going on? It's Alan Thomas, aka Shat Assassins, and today I'm drawing Sagat stage from Street Fighter 2. I'm taking a break from the normal art and webcomic talk, and in my never-ending quest, it seems like, to strengthen my environment drawings, or my ability to even draw environments, I should say. I decided to try and draw a more elaborate environment than the ones that I've typically been doing, which kind of have all been Mortal Kombat backgrounds for the most part. I think every Watch Me Draw that I've done so far, every environment painting has been a drawing of a Mortal Kombat 2 background, to be exact, and not wanting to break the theme of a fighting game environment, I decided to draw Sagat's stage from Street Fighter 2. It's actually one of my favorites anyways, and it's such a peaceful looking stage. I really enjoyed drawing it, and I really wanted to in the first place. I sketched out how I basically wanted the environment to look, the elements from Sagat stage itself, which basically the most important piece of the entire thing is getting the statue, which I forgot what the name is. I know it's based on an actual statue in Thailand, an actual statue in Thailand, but I can't remember what the name is at the moment. It escapes me, but in any event, I sketched out the statue and little elements of the background, and then I went ahead and started my line art for this picture, and just going ahead and getting the lines in for, I guess, all the particular aspects of the painting, like the little towers and mountains and stuff in the background, and the trees that's in the back, and I guess the grass and the, I guess, water or mud is what it actually looks like. We'll get to that later. But off the bat, one thing that was very interesting about this painting, which is different from my normal ones, is that because I sketched this out and sort of went over top of it so that I had a layout of how I wanted the statue, I got so accustomed, all my paintings and drawings, I make sure to have my line art down packed and paint over top of it. Doing environment paintings, I typically don't do that the way that I would do my line art for a normal, I guess, character drawing of some sort, but I decided to do that for the statue, so I sort of had to lay out the line art for the statue a lot different from how I would a typical character drawing, and I didn't want to just have black lines, so I sort of had to make a decision as to how I wanted the statue to be colored from the start when I did my line art. So those are little tricky things that I did in the beginning that I don't typically do, but I don't know, it was interesting for me. Something new, I guess. I also didn't really plan out how I wanted the bottom, where the grass and the, I guess, the steps of this painting sort of meet. I didn't have that really planned out well at all, so I was doing a lot of that editing on the fly when I was doing the environment. And I also I might as well just, for full disclosure, my intention was to actually have the statue laying in some type of, I guess, like body of water of some sort, which I guess it could be, but the water would look dirty as all hell if this is the case. But I wanted it to be in some type of body of water, but I don't really think that it came out looking like water, or it just looks like really muddy water, if anything else, because I don't think I pulled off the shading of the light shading of the reflection. That would explain it. I don't really have reflections in the painting, so that would probably explain why it doesn't look like water and it looks a lot more like dirty mud. So something to keep in mind for my next drawing. That's sort of why I do things like this, so I learn from my mistakes and I continue to grow as an artist. But it just dawned on me as I'm looking back at this painting right now, I really should have had some type of reflections in the water as I was drawing. But live and you learn, I guess. This statue is just laying in mud for whatever reason. That aside, though, I think I love every other aspect of this painting. I have no issues with it. I'm really proud of all the things that I drew and did in this painting. The very backdrop where I have the big statues and the mountains, or whatever those things are in the back, sort of like Sagat's actual stage. I really like how I pulled that off. Or I think I pulled it off anyways, and I like how I did the sky. I feel like it reflects off of the sky, or the light from the sun going down. I did really well in getting the far background of this painting. At least a lot better than my normal ones in a sense. my painting of the skies is getting a hell of a lot better than it used to be. Before, I would just take a like a faint brush and just spray it across the backdrop of the sky just to have clouds. I got a tad bit more detail in getting the sun's reflection on the clouds and then getting the actual, I guess, shine from the sky, or the sun going down is what I'm trying to say here. But I like that. Yeah, but lots of interesting aspects of this painting. Like I said, it's a very calming looking painting to me, at least. And then of course I drew this listening to Sagat's theme song on repeat, so that's always awesome. But yeah, that was my watch me draw for this painting. While I'm at it, before I even get out of here, the shadowing of the statue is another thing that I didn't really plan on. I didn't even think about how I was gonna do the shadows and highlights of the painting. I sort of end up doing that on the fly, trying to figure out how I wanted. Well, basically I had the sun as my light source. I didn't take that into account when I first did it, which means that I had most of the shadows facing the camera. So a lot of the details in the face that I wanted to get in there was pretty much useless, just because of how dark the face would have been in the first place just from the shadows. So that was another thing that I had to be aware of that I didn't think about when I first did the painting. Had I thought about that, I think I would have just had a regular blue sky with the sun actually up in the sky instead of going down. But once again, you live and you learn, right? Another thought that I just had too that I'm very proud of myself for. I feel like I'm doing a lot of patting myself on the back right now when I'm talking about this painting. You know what? I'm proud of this. But in any event, I actually feel like for the first time I correctly pulled off the value of my shadows. Is value the right word that I'm using here? I don't know. The color of my shadows, it's actually a darkish, it's like a hint of a dark purple, which should be the color of the shadows from the opposite side, I guess facing away from the sun here. I feel like I finally have that done correctly, or at least it looks right in this painting more so than all the other ones I did. So yeah, I really love that. And then because I had all my shadows correct the first time, I didn't have to do a whole bunch of layers, just adding shadow detail on top of one another. I was just able to sort of play with the shadows that I created and just duplicate the layer, and just to get like a sort of darker feel to the statue the way that I wanted to. I didn't really screw up the shadowing as bad as I thought I was going to. Like I said earlier though, I just wish that I thought about the placement of the sun before I did this picture, so I didn't have the part of the statue that's sort of facing the camera in the sense of facing us so dark. But yeah, as I'm looking at this right now, it really looks like this statue is lying in mud. But I don't know, it works. It works for whatever reason. Just roll with it. Yeah, that was my intention to put mud in here. That's what we're gonna say from now on. I wanted this to look like mud, and that's what happened. So we're rolling with it. Also, just for the mere sake, because I just thought about it, I almost forgot the beads, or not beads, but whatever the detail is in I guess the hair of the statue, if you want to call it that. I almost forgot to do that at the very end, and I had to go back and finish that in. I was just about to call it quits with this paint and went, oh, I forgot something. So yeah, that was something else that I need to clear up. And then I got my highlights in nice in the statue and in the water. Like I said, some reflections would have been nice, but it's just something to keep in mind for my next painting. If you all have a suggestion of something you would like me to paint, or something you think it would be very interesting for me to paint, just leave a suggestion in the comments below. I may get to it, I may not, but it's interesting to just bounce to get suggestions from other people, just to bounce things off of. So yeah, if you have an idea, just leave a comment and I'll try at some point to get it painted. And that's pretty much it. That was my painting of Sagat's Street Fighter 2 stage. I really enjoyed this, and I think I've made a bit of a habit out of drawing a bunch of environments for my Watch Me draws. So for my next one, I am determined to not draw an environment. That's a lie. If I draw a character, I'm gonna draw some type of a background behind the character anyways, but I don't want to draw just a picture of an environment itself. I want to actually get a character in there somewhere. So yeah, I'm not gonna do another fighting game environment for my next Watch Me draw. Since I'm saying it on camera now, I'm gonna hold myself to this. So instead, I think next time I'm just gonna draw a fighting game character. Not gonna stray too far from what I normally do, I guess. But anyways, I'm getting out of here. I'm rambling at this point. I'm about to just start getting goofy. So before I say something extremely stupid, I'm gonna end this video. So go ahead, if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, go ahead and subscribe, leave a comment, like, check out my other paintings and videos. And by the way, I'm also going to be opening up a website soon, and I'll probably have this painting up for sale if anybody wanted any prints, so just throwing that out there as well. But in any event, I am going to go ahead and get working on some more stuff. I'm always drawing, I'm always working, so I'm about to get back to it. I hope you all have a good one, and I'm out.